Let's talk about programmaticism with Bedřich Smetana. Programmaticism, or program music, is music which attempts to portray a person, a place, a thing, an idea, taking the abstract nature of music and shaping it into more concrete or metaphorical representations of real or imagined things. Its abstract opposite is absolute music, which might be considered music for music's sake, such as a sonata by Mozart, a fugue by Bach, or a bebop tune by Dizzy Gillespie. Bedřich Smetana was a Czech composer of the Romantic period who evidently had a great fondness for his Bohemian homeland because he wrote an epic cycle of 6 tone poems called Má Vlast, or My Homeland, lasting about 70 minutes. The most famous movement is entitled Vltava, or the Moldau, its more popular German title, and it depicts the storied Vltava River, the largest river in the Czech Republic, which winds right through the heart of Prague. Incidentally, Smetana would join the likes of Beethoven, Fauré, and Vaughan Williams as one of the few composers in history who have suffered severe hearing loss. Smetana would go completely deaf before finishing Má Vlast. The Moldau movement is a perfect masterclass in programmaticism. Let's check it out. The music begins gently, as 2 little tributary streams roll through the forest where they will soon merge, birthing the Vltava River. A pair of flutes cascade like rivulets of water dancing over one another, and little water droplets splash the surface in pizzicato strings. Smetana even writes the Italian word ondeggiante, meaning undulating or wave-like. Eventually, the little streams do merge. We land gently in E minor, and one of the greatest melodies ever written marks the birth of the mighty Vltava. And now we have begun our tour of the Vltava River. As we float downstream, a series of scenes unfolds. First, we have a vigorous country hunt, and here Smetana imitates the par force horn, one of many different varieties of horns used in Central Europe at that time, often on horseback, used to signal the beginning and the end of the hunt across long distances. The river begins to slow, and we pass a rustic country wedding where the guests are busy dancing. As we drift past the wedding, night falls, the moon is out, and we can see nymphs dancing in the moonlight, and I think we can even hear that moonlight shimmering across the surface of the river. After some distant military fanfares, we are swept back into the original Vltava melody because, well, it's just too good not to hear again. At this point, you might think Smetana's inventiveness has reached its limit, but there's more to this river's story. Suddenly, we turn around the bend and rush headlong into St. John's Rapids. We're in real danger here. A nice river cruise has turned into a frantic fight for our lives. The orchestra surges, cymbals crash, but turning the corner, we realize we're out of the woods and we've arrived triumphantly in Prague. As we float through Old Prague, the river rolls by the Vyšehrad Castle. Smetana writes here a grandiose, regal theme, cleverly recycled from another movement of Vlast entirely dedicated to this castle. Then, having passed Prague, we disembark, and it's almost as if we stay on shore and watch as our little raft floats gently away from us downstream. Such a beautiful ending, but we've got to have a rousing finish. So our composer signs off with a little "The End."